Good morning and welcome to Tuesday. My name is Reverend Dale Olansky, and I am so grateful to be with you today. And today is just all about gratitude. And I just want to say happy Thanksgiving week to all of you. I know that this Thanksgiving is not like others, I'm sure. So it's a joy for me to be with you, to be able to have a gratitude moment, a gratitude week, so that you can feel Thanksgiving beyond what you've ever felt it to be before by learning about gratitude. I've been teaching gratitude for many years at Center for Spiritual Living Palm Desert, and it's really something that I can't emphasize enough for people to have as a daily practice in their life, as a spiritual practice, as something that just becomes a part of your everyday living. And so what I'm going to do today, good morning, cool human. Oh, by the way, please feel free to ask questions, say hello, pop in. I welcome a lot of interaction. Good morning. Thank you, Annette. I welcome a lot of interaction during this because it is a workshop that I'm presenting to you. And like I started to say, I've been teaching gratitude for years at Center for Spiritual Living Palm Desert. And basically what I'm going to be doing for you today is teaching you what gratitude is, things that others are teaching about it. And then I've got a whole bunch of tools for you to use that will allow you to create a daily gratitude practice and to choose whatever practices you want. I don't just give you one option. I've got many, and I'm looking forward to providing those to you today. Also, at the end of the show, my email address is going to be popping up for you to email me if you have any questions about what I'm teaching today, or if you want any of the tools that I'm going to be presenting, because some of them have a lot of components to them. Please feel free to email me. I can send you the PDFs of them. And we're also doing a PowerPoint presentation, so you'll have stuff in front of you. And you can always take a picture of the PowerPoint slide, and you can have that with you to refer to if you need any assistance in remembering. So as I said, this is Thanksgiving week, and I love Thanksgiving. I really do. And I know a lot of you do too as well. And I think it's beyond just the turkey and the mashed potatoes. I think gratitude pulls us into a place within ourselves where we can really set aside our grievances, our issues, and come together just loving each other with an open heart, where we can gather together and be with our loved ones and be able to be grateful for all those things that are in our lives, for the people that are in our lives, and just everything that has brought us any kind of joy in our lives at all. And as I had earlier said, that this year we may not be gathering together with people who we normally gather together with, but we still can connect, and we can still do a little more gratitude inside of our homes that will bring forth that feeling of gratitude. And I think gratitude should be something that is woven into everyday life. And what we're going to do right now is just go into some readings that I would like to share with you about gratitude. But before I do that, I want to talk about the benefits of gratitude. Krista, can we put up the slide? Somebody is working my background here. Okay, the next slide will show you there are actual benefits of gratitude. You can see it. You have a stronger immune system. You're less bothered by aches and pains, lower blood pressure, motivated to take better care of your health. You sleep longer, higher levels of positive emotions, more alert, alive, and awake, more joy and pleasure, more optimism, happy, more helpful, generous, and compassionate, more forgiving, more outgoing, feel less isolated and lonely. So as you can see, there are actual physical, mental, and emotional benefits and spiritual benefits to living a life of gratitude. And so what we're doing for ourselves today is learning how to pull into this energy of gratitude, because gratitude is an energetic frequency and it comes from the heart. And the more engaged we are with our heart, the more that we're resonating with the energy that comes from our heart, the more expansive and the more wonderful our lives get. We teach in Science of Mind that what we focus on expands in our life experience. So if I'm focusing on gratitude, I'm going to bring more into my life to be grateful for. And so this is what it's all about. And gratitude, as you can see by all of these benefits, it's a regenerative energy. It's something that just really cleanses us of negativity, negative thinking, anything stored inside of ourselves that's negative. It really clears that out of ourselves, and it opens ourselves up to this energy that's rejuvenating and just allows us to bring forth that peace that I know we all like to live into. So gratitude is an amazing frequency. It's an amazing energy. And so I feel it is my duty to quote Ernest Holmes. Krista, if we can go to the next slide, please. So here's my Ernest Holmes quote. In everything, give thanks. An attitude of gratitude is most salutary and bespeaks the realization that we are now in heaven. How we look to do for those who cooperate with and are grateful for our small endeavors. Gratitude is one of the chief graces of human existence and is crowned in heaven with a consciousness of unity. So, as Dr. Joe would say, let me unpack that for you. So basically what this is saying is that to have an attitude of gratitude allows you to live in that state of unity, of love, of the kingdom of heaven, as Ernest Holmes described it. So in everyday terms, let's just pull it into what does that mean to me right here, right now? That means an attitude of gratitude allows me to live in peace, joy, love, and harmony. That's the bottom line of gratitude, everybody. And what's so cool about gratitude is that when we're living in that state of gratitude, we're radiating it to others. And, we're all one. We're all hooked together in a state of oneness at all times. Even though we may not feel that way, we're living our individual life experiences at a higher plane of existence. We are always connected with each other. So what our consciousness is immersed in is communicating out to others. So if you're standing in that state of gratitude, you are communicating that to others. So this work we do in consciousness, and I always say this work we do in consciousness is not just for us alone. It is for us as a whole universe. So if you're making this decision today, I'm going to live in more gratitude, I'm going to do these practices, then you're doing good for our whole world and our whole universe, because we are all connected. And so you're giving out the gratitude vibe, others are going to feel it, and it's going to raise all of us up to a higher level. So you're doing your good work. This morning, when I was doing my spiritual practices, I came across this wonderful passage by Paramahansa Yogananda, who's one of my favorites. He wrote a book called Spiritual Diary. Actually, there's so many books. It's called Spiritual Diary, and each day just has a different thought. And today's thought was so perfect, so I had to share it with you. He says, thanksgiving and praise open in your consciousness the way for spiritual growth and supply to come to you. Spirit pushes itself out into visible manifestation as soon as a channel is opened through which it can flow. You should be thankful for everything at all times. Realize that all power to think and speak and act comes from God, and that He is with you, guiding and inspiring you. Now, in Science of Mind, we don't refer to God as a He, but we can just change the way that Paramahansa Yogananda is talking of spirit, just as that energy that we are all in. And when we stand in gratitude, we're opening a door for that greater channel of gratitude and love and joy to pour through us. And he brings up a good point about being grateful in everything. And this is something that I'm going to be really bringing home to all of you, the gratitude for everything in life, from the smallest to the biggest. It doesn't really matter. And to be quite honest, I love being grateful for the small things. And there's so many things to be grateful for, from just getting up in the morning to electricity, to running water, to your car. Everything deserves acknowledgement of gratitude, seriously. It just gives us that peace and that joy and that appreciation for all that we have in our lives. So as we dive into this, remember, there is nothing too little to be grateful for. So I'm going to go over into some gratitude readings that I would like to share with you. There's a book that I got, and I'm so sorry, I forgot to look to see if it's still available on Amazon. It might be. It went into, they stopped selling it for a while, but it might be back, and I apologize for not knowing. It's Louise Hay's book, Whoops, there we go. Gratitude, a Way of Life. And it's such a great book. It's like probably 20 or 30 essays by New Thought people. You've got Dr. Tom Costa, who founded Our Center. He's in here, Wayne Dyer, Louise Hay, obviously, and many, many other notables who are visible in our spiritual community as far as writers and inspiring speakers. So I want to take a few of these nuggets from here to illuminate different aspects of gratitude. And so I'm going to start with Dr. Tom because he's so cool. If you don't know who Dr. Tom was, he was just the sweetest, kindest man, and he was called Dr. Love because that's what he was all about. He loved everybody. He was humble, salt of the earth. He trained Dr. Joe and Dr. Laura and some of our others who are no longer with us in ministry. And he just had such a beautiful heart and soul. So he wrote one of the little vignettes in here about gratitude. And he talks about this really cool idea that you cannot be grateful and unhappy at the same time. You can't. Oh, thank you, Lesia. Limited copies available on Amazon. You're so cute. So you can get it on Amazon, but go quickly to get it. Anyways, so he said you can't be happy, unhappy, and grateful at the same time. So this idea of moving our consciousness to gratitude, because there's always something to hook into, that's going to release any kind of feelings you might be having of unhappiness or discordancy. All you have to do is move to gratitude for something, and you'll start to feel better. It is truly a cure-all. I will tell you, gratitude is a cure-all for anything that ails you. It just really lifts you up and puts you in that place, as Dr. Holmes says, the kingdom of heaven. It plants you right there in that sweet spot of your soul where all is well. All is well. It's amazing. So Dr. Tom speaks of this idea that he used to, this thing that he used to do. He used to call it his Rosary of Gratefulness, as I believe he was raised Catholic. And so he had a rosary, and he used to have this necklace. He said it's a Rosary of Gratefulness, and he would count the rosary beads. So daily he would count each bead as something to be grateful for. And this is a great gratitude practice. Some people like to have their mala beads. You can use those as well. You can say gratitude as you go around the beads for all these different things. And I think there's like 126 or 128 beads. Can you imagine 128 things to be grateful for? I think you can. So he used this rosary thing, and that's how he would count his blessings. And he also says this period of gratitude in my life does not occur just on the third Thursday in November. This time of thanks is something I implement into each and every day. I have so many beads to count, beads representing people who have helped me, beads representing people who didn't help me. There are beads representing close, intimate friends, my family, beads representing my health, my body, my physical senses, my home that I treasure and enjoy. I give thanks for my pets who teach me daily unconditional love. I give thanks for my ability to choose my thoughts, my attitudes, my path. And he says, take a moment of time daily and be grateful for all that you are and for all that you are not. Be grateful for all that you have and for all that you do not have. And remember, you cannot be grateful and unhappy at the same time. He was really big. Dr. Tom was really big on this idea that I'm grateful for what I have and what I don't have. That was just one of his kind of signature thoughts that he shared with people. So, if you're having a hard time figuring out what you're grateful for, I'm sure there's something you're grateful you don't have, or something that's not in your life anymore. And something I'm going to be talking to later, we're going to do it's called a lifetime of gratitude exercise. And, I know a lot of you out there, I'm right there with you. We've had some unpleasantries in our lives that we've experienced, and they're not happening anymore. And sometimes when I bring people through this exercise, they say, it's hard for me to find gratitude for this really difficult experience that I went through. I just can't find the good in that. And my answer is, well, that's fine. That's fine. I'm sure someday you will find it. But in this moment, you could say, I'm grateful that experience is done. That's something we can always say, to at least put a little energy of gratitude onto something that was unpleasant, but no longer is in our life. We can always be grateful it is completed. So that's something you can do to work around some of these gratitude practices that we're going to be doing. Okay, so this idea of shifting consciousness into a different frequency, if you will, into a different belief, a different thought, a different idea. There's another reading in here that really sums it up in a beautiful way. I appreciated the, don't we appreciate the way people describe these mechanisms for transformation of consciousness? I love the creativity. So this person says, gratitude is indeed like a gear shift that can move our mental mechanism from obsession to peacefulness, from stuckness to creativity, from fear to love. The ability to relax and be mindfully present in the moment comes naturally when we are grateful. One of the most delightful aspects of my Jewish heritage is saying the bracha, blessings or prayers of thanksgiving throughout the day. These are praises of God for creating a world of infinite wonder and possibility. So we have this idea, we have a gear shift that we can use at any time to shift into gratitude. I just think that's a powerful visual. And there might be people who don't know what a gear shift is, but there are cars where you have to shift the gear manually. And so, with this whole thing with consciousness, I just want to speak to this right now. So important. We come into life and we experience what we experience, and we come to a place where we've had enough. We want to change things. And we really have to come into a place where we take ownership of moving our consciousness and moving our life in a new direction. It is not something that somebody else can do for us. We have to take ownership and initiative in moving our minds and our hearts and our souls in different directions that allow for a better life. And so this whole idea of the gear shift, to me, it just says that it is up to me to shift the gears. Nobody's going to do it for me. Sure, I can be inspired by wonderful people who show me how to change my life, or wonderful words of wisdom. But at the end of the day, I have got to move the gear. And so it's once you get in the habit, I'll put it this way, once you get in the habit of moving that gear, it's really easy. So if you're just getting into the groove of being the person that's in charge of your life and changing your life, your consciousness, it gets easier in time. It just becomes a habit. And part of this habit is what is gratitude, which is what I'm teaching you today, is making gratitude a habit that becomes very natural, very instinctive. I just want to read a comment from Linda. Grateful for what you don't have is a perfect new twist, including not having what we thought we wanted. Yes, there's lots of things our minds can do to move things around to create a better belief system and a better mindset. Leslie, I love this. I love the sensory aspect of that gratitude practice. Something new to add to writing and contemplating what I'm grateful for. Thank you. Love this. I love the interaction. Thank you, you guys. It's so great. So we've got to take control of our consciousness. And it's actually a great thing, because then the onus comes to us. We don't have to wait for somebody else. It's not somebody else's responsibility. We can do it. We're wired for this. By the way, might I tell you, we are all wired to be able to do our consciousness, to move it, to clean it up, to create a better consciousness and a better life. We absolutely can do it. So don't ever feel like you don't have the power to do it, because you absolutely do. And I can relate to that, because there was a time in my life where I didn't think I had the power to do it. And then slowly and surely I started spiritual practices, and I started praying, and I started seeing my life changing, because I took that chance of just trying something new, of just saying, well, maybe this will work. And it never has not worked since I made that decision to do these spiritual practices. So stick with it. You can do it. You can change your life. And gratitude is a great means to that achievement of a life that is lovely and wonderful. Okay, another one. So, a lot of people think gratitude is about the things in our lives. I'm grateful I have this, I have that, blah, 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 which it is. It's a part of being grateful, the stuff that shows up in our lives. But the stuff shows up because the consciousness is there. If you didn't have a consciousness of gratitude or openness and receptivity, of knowing who you are, of knowing that the universe is a place that gives unceasingly of itself, to know that you have the power to create anything. If you didn't have that idea in your consciousness, none of this stuff in the physical world that you love, that you're grateful for, would be showing up. So it starts in your consciousness. So I'd like to read this little portion. This is a great one. The person says, gratitude is not the result of things that happen to us. It is an attitude we cultivate by practice. The more we are thankful for, the more we will find to be thankful for. So it's all about finding in our consciousness just the energy of gratitude. We can, and I'm going to be teaching you all these things about being grateful for this and being grateful for that. But what I'm really backing you into is that permanent state of the feeling of gratitude. So it's kind of like training wheels. If I'm able to say, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that, I'm grateful for this, that, then eventually I don't need to be recognizing those things I'm grateful for. I am just in a constant frequency, energy of what the feeling state of gratitude is. So I think it's really important for you, for everybody, myself included, is to really understand, what does gratitude feel like? I mean, what is that feeling to you? Does it feel like freedom? Does it feel like joy? Does it feel like bliss? Does it feel like, confidence? What does it feel like for you? Let's back away from the stuff and back into your feeling state. Because once you can get to that and tune into that, then the things are like irrelevant. And something that I have, kind of come to in my own life is that with prayer and praying for wanting certain things in life or experiences in life, it really isn't about the experience. I want the feeling. And so if I'm keeping myself in these feeling states of like gratitude or joy or love, the less I have to tell the universe what I want, because it just knows, because the universe is matching my dominant frequency. Okay. So if my dominant frequency is love, then love is going to be in my life, because first of all, I'm looking everything through the eyes of love. So everything's going to look like love to me. And through the law of attraction, I am attracting things that are love in my life. So the real thing we're doing here, just to give you a secret, is we're changing our consciousness, our energy, the radiation of who we are at that deep level of qualities of spirit. So if I am really wanting just an overhaul of life, gratitude is a great place to land into. And like I've been reading, when whatever you're grateful for expands and brings more to be grateful for in your life. So it just starts with that place of consciousness. And everything, we teach, everything begins in consciousness. So when we begin cultivating an attitude of gratitude, just watch out. You're going to see a whole lot of good stuff happening inside of you and outside of you, because it's all one. So when I've got the inside going on, I don't have to worry about the outside. And that's why I love doing consciousness work. Because if I just tend to my inner garden, if my inner garden is filled with love and joy and peace, I don't really need to worry about the outside, because there's a natural flow that happens without me having to be saying this is what I want and that's what I want. I just want love, joy, peace, boundless good in my life. And I'm going to let the universe deliver it however it matches me and my frequency. So gratitude is our way into that. But I digress. Thank you for putting up with my chatter. Helpful guest, acknowledging, okay, I know who helpful guest is. That's David. He says, acknowledging the good that you already have in your life is the foundation for all abundance. And that's by Eckhart Tolle, who is absolutely phenomenal. So yes, see how that is? Acknowledging that you live a life that is filled with good is how we bring more good into our lives, because we're recognizing all the blessings that we have. So good to make this your practice. Okay, the next thing I want to read is about the universe, that good old universe that we live in. All right. Okay. Oh, this is wonderful. See, this is another thing. And this, I love teaching this on Thanksgiving week, because Thanksgiving is such a wonderful holiday. And like I said earlier, to make it beyond the one day, as Dr. Tom said too, that's the real cool thing to do. We've got that one day, but let's make it every single day. And that's why I call this a way of life. It should be a way of being if you want to maximize your life experience and open up your world into a way that's phenomenal. So this one says, I've discovered that gratitude is a way of being. When we become cognizant that everything in this life is a gift from the universe, and what we make of this thing called life is our gift back to the universe, Our awareness is deepened. Gratitude is a tangible substance emanating from the person feeling this emotion. This substance permeates and pervades environments, clothing, and objects. Gratitude as a way of being begins to manifest itself as the art and science of blessing. It makes sense when we realize that all life operates on a vibrational frequency of energy. The energy that we bring to life is the same energy that returns to us. So this just emphasizes what I've already said, that we vibrate in this energy of gratitude, which is an energy of blessing. And so it brings that energy back to us. And something that I forgot to cover in our affirmative prayer, the science of mind way of praying, what we call treatment, where we have 5 steps. And our 4th step is the gratitude step. And for those of you that aren't familiar with what that gratitude step really is all about in our way of praying, is we're grateful for the demonstration or the physical manifestation, the coming into being of whatever it is we're praying for. So if I'm praying for a new idea in my prayer, I would say, I'm grateful this idea is now being revealed to me. So this idea of gratitude is being just this door that gets opened for us, for the flow of life to come in a very, very strong and powerful way. This is what we do in prayer, as well as these practices. We're opening a door for your good. How many people out there don't want any more good in their life? I want way more good. I've got a lot of good, but man, the sky's the limit. The universe is the limit. There is no limit. There is no limit to our good. Isn't that so cool? No limit whatsoever, except your consciousness. If you want to limit it, by all means do. I don't know. I'm all about more, and more good, because you know what? When I have more good, everybody has more good. So let's do that through gratitude. Okay, this next one that I want to read, again, it talks to gratitude being a way of life. When gratitude and thanksgiving become a way of life, all abundance, physical, spiritual, and material, coexist simultaneously. Our personal power mingles with the powers of the universe to heal the world as we heal ourselves. Gratitude carries us to the heights of the higher vibratory frequencies, transforming cellular pockets of tension and disease. Wow, right? So gratitude helps heal the body. Go figure, right? Well, if our body and mind are one, which they are, and it's all energy, and the mind is very powerful, if my mind is vibrating in a way where I'm in resentment and anger, the cells of my body are going to be experiencing that negativity, and I'm not going to be well. If I am in the energy and the thought and the belief of good and love and joy and all that great stuff, my cells are going to be happy cells. My body's going to be a happy body, and I'm going to be healthy and well. So see this, it's so beautiful. I love mind body. And so this is another benefit of gratitude. And it was part of that list that I read to you earlier, that people who live in gratitude are healthier. They feel better because they're just seeing the good that's everywhere, rather than moaning and groaning about what they don't have or an experience they're having. They're in a heightened state, which is allowing the body to say, this is great, more good, more good. So this is right. This is why I call it a cure-all. This is why I call gratitude a cure-all. It is a panacea. Whatever ails you, go to gratitude. Your life will turn around. Okay, this is great too. I'm going to go on. As we express gratitude with every breath, we become a symphony of compassion, love, and understanding. Borders of separation within dissolve into an awareness of our oneness with all. Oh yeah, gratitude leads to the awareness of oneness of all life. There's something with gratitude. Well, if you think for a moment, I just want to do a real quickie exercise. Just close your eyes, everybody, and just bear with me here. So I want you just to think about, let's take a breath in first. Just clear your energy and just exhale. Okay, just think about something that's really bugging you right now, something you're pissed off about or you're uncomfortable with. And I want you to pay attention to what you're feeling. What does your body feel like? Are you feeling any kind of contraction? Are you feeling a loss of energy? Just be really mindful of whatever you're experiencing just for a moment. Just want you to feel that. Okay, take a breath in and exhale. Just clear that out, clear all that out. Now I want you to think of something you're really grateful for in your life. Whatever it is, just really tune into that gratitude, something you're really grateful in your life right now. And now what is your body telling you? What are you experiencing? Just really be clear with that. Be mindful of what your body and your heart is experiencing. Okay. And just breathe in and exhale and just like come back to this time. So there's this thing that happens. I don't know if you recognize this, but when we're in gratitude and we're feeling like alive and expansive, we're really tuned into oneness. We're not seeing ourselves as in a box or limited or separated. We're feeling and connecting with the oneness of the world. Something about gratitude that I've noticed is that when I feel gratitude, I feel really safe in my world. I don't feel like I'm in like the world's a dangerous place. I feel like it's really safe because this is a place where I am in that energy of God, because I'm always in the energy of God because I'm an expression of it. But to really feel gratitude, it just makes the world inside and outside a better place to feel that we're all connected and all one. So this is yet another perk of gratitude, that everything falls away that keeps us in any kind of me, you, us, them, black, white. That stuff goes away because we are one, and gratitude is that glue, is that energy that reminds us of that. So isn't this great, all this stuff gratitude does for us? It's amazing. One last thing that I would like to read before I go into our practices. And this book is so good, you guys. I suggest you get it. It's just, the essays some of them are just 3 pages, some are maybe 6. So if you're just feeling a little down, you read one of these and you feel so good. Okay, so this one says, we can look at any experience in 2 ways, through the eyes of lack or the eyes of plenty. Fear sees limits, while love sees possibility. Each attitude will be justified by the belief system you cherish. Change your allegiance from fear to love, and love will sustain you wherever you walk. A Course in Miracles tells us love cannot be far behind a grateful heart and thankful mind. These are the true conditions of your becoming. So again, that gratitude as being this, as David had put in his quote from Eckhart Tolle, gratitude is that door that opens for abundance to be seen and experienced by us. So that is my my argument for gratitude, why you should do it all the time, why every day should be Thanksgiving, and just to see the power of gratitude, because sometimes I don't think we talk about it enough, and it's huge. It is huge. So again, here's the book. Thank you very much for putting that down there for me, Krista, and for Lesia checking on the availability of the book. So now we're going to get into gratitude practices, and this is fun stuff. So again, if you want any of these practices sent to you, if you want me to send you any of the PowerPoints, let me know, and I will gladly send them to you. I think my email address has been coming up there, and these are really fun practices to do. So let's go to our first practice. Now, again, these are designed, let me speak again about changing habits. What we're doing here today is giving you some good new habits to get into. The mind is very plastic, and it can be changed. Believe it or not, it can be changed. I've got to tell you a funny story. When I was a bit younger, I had a friend, and she said to me, you can't change the grain of your brain. And I bought into that. It was well before I came into Science of Mind, but I bought into that, and I thought, she's right. My brain is what it is, and this is life, and that's that. But I came into Science of Mind, and I learned you can change the grain of your brain in a really big and powerful way. So what we're doing with gratitude practices is we're creating like new neural pathways to create new habits that are going to allow you to live in gratitude for just as long as you want to live in gratitude each and every day. And my prayer for you is that these practices become a part of your life. You don't have to do all of them, but a couple of them would be good to do daily. But they become such a habit that when you're feeling down in life, you immediately go to gratitude, where it just becomes this instant habit of thought, so that it's your go-to. Because the cool thing about gratitude, it doesn't take time at all. It takes no time at all to be able to say, wow, I'm grateful the sun is shining today. boom, I just moved my thought, and guess what? My energy's moving. Everything's moving about me. So that's my prayer for all of you now, is to use these practices to create the consciousness of gratitude, so that you naturally can move right into it when need be, and just enjoy it every single day. I mean, it's a joy to be in gratitude every single day and every moment. It is a game changer. Okay, so let's bring up the PowerPoint, Krista, please, and we're going to go on to some practices. Next, there we go. Okay, this is called a lifetime of gratitude. And what you're going to do in this exercise, and we're not doing these exercises right now, I'm just going to teach them to you. So as you can see, there's age brackets. These are what these are: age 0 to 18, 19 to 25, et cetera, et cetera. And so what you do in this particular exercise is you go to each of these time periods and you write what you're grateful for each of those time periods. And this takes time. It takes a lot of time or it could, I'm not going to declare that. It may not take any time at all. What am I doing? I'm putting you in a limitation. Sorry about that. This could be very easy and quick for you. Anyways, it may take a little more thought, though. That's all. So what you do is you go, okay, 0 to 18, what am I grateful for that took place during those years? And then you're just going to write those things down. And you don't have to do this exercise, by the way, all in one sitting. It might be fun to divide it for a daily thing. Today, I'm going to do 0 to 18. Okay, great. And you don't have to do it at one sitting either. If you want to say, in the morning, I'm going to do a little 0 to 18, what happened, and then maybe pick it up later in the day. Because once you start stimulating the memories of that time, you might want to give them some time to percolate and come up for you. So it's something you can keep as an ongoing list. It doesn't have to be done all at once. So you're going to do all these different time periods. And by the way, if you want to, if they're too big for you, like if you want to have 0 to 5, 6 to 10, go for it. Make this your own. Make this your own. If you want to, if it's easier for you to have smaller increments of time, go for it. Absolutely. The point here is that we want to look over our whole life, and see all the things that happen that we're grateful for. And the thing that happens by virtue or as a byproduct of this exercise is it opens up our heart. You know what? It opens up our heart, because I know, our pasts are what they are. And in some of these time periods, you may have had some really dark times. But there also may have been some light peeking through that you aren't aware of, because something's become so dark, you just haven't been seeing light. But this gives you an opportunity to say, you know what, 0 to 18, there was some stuff that wasn't so funky, but I remember this and I remember that. And that's going to loosen up any kind of, we call unfinished business perhaps, or any kind of stuck energy that we might have in any of these time periods, that allows us to reframe it or see it a little bit differently. And so you're going to be unlocking some really good energy that you may not even realize has been stuck for you. So this is the lifetime of gratitude. Have fun with it. Again, like I said, you can change it to increments that suit you better. But this is really a lovely way to look at your life and see where the light was shining, and where how you can kind of look at things maybe a little bit differently that you hadn't considered about your life. Okay, so that's the lifetime of gratitude. Can we go to the next slide, please? Okay, daily gratitude journal. This is something that I encourage you to do a daily journal. So I encourage you to do it every single day. I do a daily gratitude journal. I do mine in the morning, but I think it's a good idea to do it in the morning and the evening. And let me tell you, it takes a minute or 30 seconds to do a gratitude journal. What's 2 minutes out of your day? You do a minute in the morning, you do a minute in the evening, done, right? And so basically the reason why I like it so much is it's setting my energy in the morning, and it's setting my energy before I go to sleep at night. Everybody does their gratitude journals differently. I would just find what works for you. What I like to do in the morning is my new practice, because I've done it differently in my life too. I used to do a list. I used to just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or I do 10. Actually, I would do 10 in the morning, 10 things I'm grateful for, and 10 in the evening. Now I do a page of gratitude. And the way I set it up is I say, I am massively grateful for, and I just write. And I'll tell you, it's so easy to come up with a page of that which I am grateful for. It's everything from, I love my kitties, my home, my spiritual community, my health. I mean, it's everything and anything. everything and anything, and just kind of tapping into and really being present to all the great stuff that's in your life and in what's happening through you and your just everything. Really tuning into being present and seeing it and saying it out loud or saying it in writing. It's like you're turning on the generator of gratitude in the morning, which is going to percolate. It's just going to buzz and hum all day long. That's the cool thing about gratitude. It's such a strong feeling state that once you kind of click it on, it stays on. That's the cool thing. So if you turn it on in the morning, turn it off, turn it on in the evening. I know that you're going to have some really great shifts in consciousness and life experience as a result. And it's such an easy practice. So the gratitude journal is super easy. You do it every day, and that it's just simple. Okay, let's go to our next gratitude practice. Okay, I love this one. Okay, so this is gratitude practice for the 4 pillars of your life. And we look at the past, we look at the present, and we look at the future. So the way that I do this is I'm sorry, I should have done a piece of paper that shows this, how you can set it up. But I would have like one sheet of paper that says past, one sheet of paper that says present, and one sheet of paper that says future. And then just put health, wealth, love and relationships, and creative self-expression. So you're going to do this with the 3 tenses of time. So for the past, I would say like list my health. I've been healthy and well, or maybe you were able to you healed from a disease. Just everything about health. Everything. Okay. And then in the past, wealth. How is my wealth? What am I grateful for regarding wealth in my past? Whatever that is. And go and so on with love and relationships and creative self-expression. And you do the same thing for the present. What in the present time are you grateful for regarding health, wealth, love and relationships, and creative self-expression? And here's the fun thing. We get to create our futures right here, right now through gratitude. And this is kind of like prayer, really. So you're going to put future. Okay. Looking at your life right now and seeing the future, what you would like to be grateful for in the future for your health, your wealth, your love and relationships, and your creative self-expression. So I could say something like this. I would say for health, I am so grateful that my perfect health continues throughout my entire lifetime. There you go. That kind of says it all. Wealth. I am so grateful that I am always wealthy and abundant throughout my life. Love and relationships. I am so grateful that I always have wonderful people in my life who love me, who I connect with. So that's how that's done. That's how you put it in the future. So here we go. Do you see how we're just steeping ourselves and immersing ourselves through time, through space, through energy frequency, through all parts of our expression? We are dousing ourselves in the energy of gratitude so that we're just vessels of it. We're just vessels of it. So these things I'm giving you that's what these are all about. It's just like pulling you into that energy through time and space and everything. Okay, let's do the next one, please. Next slide. Oh, a day of blessing. I love this. It kind of reminds me of my Jewish heritage. We called it Shabbat, which was our Sabbath. And I don't know, there's other religions that do this as well, but you devote one day to blessing everything in your life. And for me, for what I grew up in Shabbat was all about just you and God, really, and just being mindful of your blessings. That's what your focus was. You didn't do anything with, you didn't turn on lights, you didn't cook, because it was all about steeping yourself and recognizing the blessings of your life. So this day of blessing is a fun thing to do. You just pick one day, whatever day works for you, and that's your day of blessing. And you bless everything. So you might want to put like a little reminder on your clock or not your clock, on your phone, or just a card that you have that says bless everything today. Today's my day, I bless everything. And it might get really, you might get exhausted by it, but it's a really cool practice. So what I would do, so this is what this looks like. So I get up and it's my day of blessing. So, okay, I'm grateful I am so grateful I am waking up this morning. I am grateful it's a beautiful day today. I'm grateful for my pajamas. I'm grateful I'm having a delicious breakfast. I'm grateful for my home that gives me good shelter. I mean, everything and anything. I'm grateful my car started this morning. Just get into that day of blessing and you're going to have a great day. And you're probably going to want to do more days like that. So that's the day of blessing practice. Next slide, please. Gratitude jar. Okay, this is a cool thing. For those of you that live with people or have a family, the gratitude jar is a really great way to get the whole family or the whole household into gratitude. And so what you do is you get a jar, make it a big jar because we want to put a lot of gratitude in there, not a little jar. And what you do is you get little slips of paper and you write what you're grateful for. So whatever, today I'm grateful for my family. You write that on your little piece of paper, you fold it up and you put it in the jar. So the whole family does this. And you don't have to have a family. Let me tell you this, you can do it for yourself too. You don't necessarily have to have other people in your household. So, but it's just a place where you just write down what you're grateful for, fold it up and put it in your jar. And so as a family, what you can do when that jar gets really full, you can go ahead and open up the jar and then you share all the little things that everybody's grateful for. And it's a fun little exercise. And I have a friend who doesn't live with anybody and she tells me she uses her gratitude jar for when she's having a bad day. She says she loves her jar. She opens it up and she just reads gratitude after gratitude after gratitude. And she loves it. It just fills her heart up and it reminds her of how abundant and fulfilling her life is. So the gratitude jar is a really fun thing and you can have fun with it. You can make it all pretty for you crafty people out there. You can, do what you like with it to make it really pretty and attractive. And here's the other thing. You've got this jar that's sitting there that's reminding you of gratitude in your visual field. So yet again, there's that reminder to be grateful and to be in the energy of gratitude just by even looking at your jar. So there's that. Next slide, please. Gratitude sharing with family and loved ones. Okay. I think talking to others about what we're grateful for is really important. And I have been blessed to have a lot of different little spiritual communities through sacred circles that I run. And a lot of times we talk about what we're grateful for to each other. And it's really good to say these things out loud and to be witnessed because it raises everybody's heart up and our frequencies up. When I'm hearing so-and-so is feeling grateful about something, I get all happy about that, and when I get to share my gratitude, I'm happy. It's a wonderful thing to do. For those of you that live with others or have family, sharing gratitude at the table, whether you're having a meal or just hanging out and all talking, to be able to have that time where you say, you know what, let's start with mom. Mom, what are you grateful for? Dad, what are you grateful for? Brother, what are you grateful for? Everybody shares in gratitude. When I do some work with couples, one of the things that I have them do, or I encourage them to do, is when they're going to come together and have any kind of conversations, to say what they're grateful for. Before they even start having, if there's something they need to talk about that might be challenging, start with gratitude for each other and it lightens up the hearts and makes everybody more receptive, right? Or if you just want to, say you're grateful to your loved one, just say, let's do our gratitude time right now. It's night. What are you grateful for? 5 things. What are you grateful for? 5 things. Look at this. It's contagious gratitude. It's something that once you really start adapting these practices, they're not going to go away. They bring forth such light and such love. And it just really makes us present to what's in our life. Because I know that sometimes in life, I'm guilty of this. There have been times in my life where I've taken stuff for granted. I haven't been grateful for them. And that's why I'm so grateful that I have gratitude practices, because I don't take anything for granted anymore. Nothing, because I'm so clear on the abundance of blessings that I have in my life, because I'm present to being grateful for it all of it. So that's what I have to say about that. I think I have another slide. Oh yeah. Oh, don't be overwhelmed by this. So if you just want to do more things for gratitude and you want an exercise to stimulate greater gratitude, I usually give this exercise when I start my gratitude class because it helps get the juices flowing of gratitude. And so this is just a it's 15 things to think about being grateful for. So I'm grateful for this technology and why. Okay. I'm grateful for my iPhone because, my God, what would I do without it? I'm grateful for this color and why. I love purple because it makes me happy and it's just gorgeous. I'm grateful for this food and why. Pizza, of course, because I love pizza. It's my happy food. I'm grateful for this sound and why. I love the sound of birds. So go through this gratitude exercise. I think it's really, really fun, actually, because it makes you realize what makes you happy and what's in your life and how much you've got, even from the tangible to the intangible, from the sounds to nature to things that are in your life, things that are just in this world that you love. So have fun. This is actually such a fun exercise. It kind of tunes you into you and what brings you joy and what brings you happiness. So just have fun with that exercise. I love doing it every once in a while. It's just kind of one of those feel good kind of things. And, these things that I'm teaching you today, if you are gathering with people over Thanksgiving virtually, or you might be, having people physically in your presence, bring some of these gratitude exercises to do. I think it would make for a fun Thanksgiving. And you can the thing is you can talk about it and share, oh, this is what I wrote on this exercise, and this is what I did for that. And this was, this came up for me. These are fun little Thanksgiving exercises that you can bring into your Thanksgiving gatherings, but also do all year long. And so what you can do is you can teach your loved ones about these practices so they can have Thanksgiving all year long. I think, is that it? Oh, I have to talk about this. Okay. So I got to talk about forgiveness. Got to talk about it. If we are feeling anger, resentment, or unforgiveness, we cannot feel gratitude. Kind of like what, what Dr. Tom was saying. You can't feel grateful and unhappy at the same time, right? So I think that, I always teach that we've got to, it's really important to see if something's blocking the flow of life in our beingness. And when I say life, I mean that life of God that we are, that joy, that peace, that energy, that high vibing frequency. So if you're having trouble or you have any anger, resentment, or unforgiveness, if you really want to maximize gratitude in that channel, you got to clean the channels out. So rather than giving you a whole bunch of exercises to do for forgiveness, can we go to the next slide? I gave you a down and dirty tool, and it's a grievance grid. This is called a grievance grid. And what you do is you can tune into something that you're pissed off about or you're holding a grievance for. And you can just ask yourself and say, am I holding a grievance for anybody or anything? Sometimes we're holding a grievance for ourselves. So this is just a way to take out of the background, out of the subconscious field, anything that's back there that's saying I'm pissed off about, I'm angry about, I haven't forgiven this person, and write it down as your grievance, and then put some action behind that. Action to resolve it. And resolving can be anything from doing journaling work to prayer work to working with a practitioner or a minister or reaching out to this person. Something to move the grievance out, because the more we move out the anger and the resentment and the unforgiveness, when we really clear ourselves of that, we're maximizing the gratitude channel. And so that's a really important piece of generating greater gratitude. I just wanted to speak to that so that you all understand that that's a piece to look at. That's definitely a piece to look at. All right. I guess I don't have any questions from anybody. I've just talked on, and I thank you for being here and joining me. I want to read this. I want to end with this prayer, and it's at the end of the book that I'm quoting from, and it's a gratitude prayer by Louise Hay. And again, if you're not going to buy this book and you want me to send you this prayer, email me and I'll send you the prayer. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's totally comprehensive. So here it is. Deep at the center of my being, there is an infinite well of gratitude. I now allow this gratitude to fill my heart, my body, my mind, my consciousness, my very being. This gratitude radiates out from me in all directions, touching everything in my world, and returns to me as more to be grateful for. The more gratitude I feel, the more I am aware that the supply is endless. The use of gratitude makes me feel good. It is an expression of my inner joy. It is a warm fuzzy in my life. I'm grateful for myself and for my body. I'm grateful for my ability to see and hear, feel and taste and touch. I'm grateful for my home, and I take loving care of it. I'm grateful for my family and friends, and I rejoice in their company. I am grateful for my work, and I give it my best at all times. I'm grateful for my talents and abilities, and I continually express them in ways that are fulfilling. I'm grateful for my income, and I know that I prosper wherever I turn. I'm grateful for all my past experiences, for I know that they were part of my soul's growth. I'm grateful for all of nature, and I'm respectful for every living thing. I'm grateful for today, and I'm grateful for the tomorrows to come. I am grateful for life now and forevermore. That says it all. That says it all. So I just want to thank you for joining me today. It's been a pleasure, a joy to teach you, to give you some stuff to do every day for gratitude generation and staying in that state of appreciation, and things you can play with at your Thanksgiving gatherings. At this time, I just want to invite you to give a contribution of financial good to our center. We don't have our doors open, as you know, and you guys have been so incredibly generous with your financial good, and we appreciate it. It allows us to take care of our financial obligations, and also we tithe. I don't know if you know this. We tithe. It's part of our spiritual practice as a center. And so your tithes also tithe out to people in need in the community for where our center is getting our goods. So your tithes are doing so much magnificence for us as a center and for the world. And so you can give through our website. You can call the office. You can send a check, and you can text. So those options are all there, I know, on the screen right there. Also, just want to let you know about our 10 a.m. offerings the rest of the week. We've got tomorrow and Thursday are a little different than normal. The Fabulous Five did a special. It's actually a Thanksgiving experience, and it's going to be viewed, or we're going to be showing it at 10 a.m. on Wednesday, tomorrow, and also on Thursday at 10 a.m. So you're going to want to be a part of that. It's a beautiful, beautiful. It's kind of like a service, but also just a wonderful way to immerse yourself in what gratitude feels like. So a lot of what I've been speaking to. The rest of the week, we've got Friday, we've got Life on Love with Reverend Charles. Saturday, we've got a meditation, a guided meditation for 30 minutes that is being given by one of our ministers. And Sunday, well, you know what we do on Sundays here. It's all about Sunday service, inspiration, and just sharing life, teaching each other, lifting ourselves up through music and message. So I invite you to join us for that as well. And so I think that's it for me. I thank you for being here with me today. I bless you all. I know a great Thanksgiving for all of you. Enjoy practicing these spiritual practices of gratitude, and just be cognizant of the wonderful changes that you're going to experience on the inside and the outside as you see the good that is everywhere present in your life. Even those experiences that are unpleasant, there's something in those as well that allows you to move forward, to see what was there for you so that you can create a greater life for you and your loved ones. And so I'm just going to say bye to everybody. I love you all. Happy Thanksgiving, and take care.